Matt is the co-creator, author, writer of a new 6-part comedy series about a lowly football team, and it's going out on London Live TV in the next few days. And all I say is welcome to Meridian 107 FM, Matt.
Hello. Hello.
And Matt's come all the way over from North London, which is a bit of a trek, isn't it?
That is a bit of a trek, so thanks for that, Matt.
Especially when he came on his roller skates.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, yeah. It's tiring.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Now, as I said, you've written a 6-part series. It's got to be hard, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. It's tough. We wrote it, obviously, in sections, though. Like, you come up with the idea, and then you get through the first episode, and then you think, well, what's the arc, what's the journey for every character? So it sort of falls into place. It's getting that first one down that's the hardest part. Like, writing the 6... It's the last 5 that are easier than the first one. The first one.
Are they really?
Yeah.
So is it? Do you sort of look at it like the first one? You're developing the characters.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, you've got a storyboard and decide where they're going to go, and you sort of work that out by writing them, and sometimes even by seeing the people in your head, or by seeing them literally when you cast them. You can even change the arc of the story, and it can go in so many directions. So.
Yeah. But why comedy? Because that's got to be even harder, isn't it? That's got to be the hardest of all, surely.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
You could have written a love story, I don't know, you could have written a detective or something, but comedy's got to be the thing.
No, I suppose it's just football is funny, really. You pick up a paper every day and there's always a new story about some sort of scandal or anything like that, so...
I mean, is football close to your heart in general?
Yeah, I think, it's always been something I've gone and watched on the telly or whatever, or gone to live. Like, football's everyone's cup of tea, really. In this country, it's quite a football country. So,
what's your team?
I'm an Arsenal fan. That's the North London.
Oh, right. Is that why you chose a lowly sort of club to write about?
Yeah, it's the opposite, isn't it, I suppose. But at the moment, they're not doing so great. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant stuff. When you submitted the scripts to London Live, did they accept them immediately, or did they look at them and think, oh, we can't have this, can't have that, change that?
Yeah, this is what the pilot season's all about, really. So the first episode is the one we filmed, and that will be the one that goes out on Sunday. And it's sort of on a sort of trial basis, I suppose. So it's the reception to this one that will be important to the rest of the series sort of kicking on. So
is this, with pilot season, is it literally like if the pilot does not get... Is it based on ratings?
I don't think there's any specific criteria for what it will or won't success on. I think the social media aspect of things and the reception generally in even the football community or the television community could be key as well. And so far we've had some really great write-ups about it as well. So fingers crossed we get to continue the momentum of the series and make the whole thing. So
there's 6 in the series. Yeah. Have they all been filmed?
The first episode is the only one that's been filmed currently. That's the one that we've already filmed, is in the can. It's going to be on this Sunday, so that's the one done. So,
but are the other 5 are definite, are they?
Well, we want to make them, yeah. And given the green light from London Live, they'll all be made.
How
when you... I mean, I know nothing about this kind of, the writing aspect of it. How long does what is it, a 30-minute show, is it?
Yeah, they're all 30.
How long would something like that take you to write?
Oh, it depends how stuck you get on a certain bit, I suppose.
I mean, but are we talking weeks, months?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, you could be talking months with certain aspects of it, but a rough draft you could probably get all 6 done in a week if you're really at it.
Wow,
excellent.
But in terms of tweaking it, yeah, months.
So, Luke, that you wrote it with, did you sort of meet up and sort of sit together and write it, or did you? Perhaps you would write a bit, and he'd write a bit, and you'd email it to each other. How did that work?
Well, it was sort of a mix of the 2 processes, really. The main bulk of the 6 episodes was written in tandem, so we'd be together and we'd meet up. But then there'd be maybe sometimes we'd see something or read something that would spark a little joke or a little set piece, and we'd sort of throw that over to the other one, and that could get meshed in with what we'd already done together. So it was a bit of both, really.
I mean, did you both had prior experience of doing this sort of thing? Yeah,
we wrote bits of theatre and stuff like that. So there was a background in sort of writing, but in terms of writing for TV, no, this was something that was new to us.
So you've never written for TV, but you've done sort of... How is it different from writing for theatre?
I suppose with theatre, maybe a lot of the stuff we've done, we've maybe sort of tweaked on the spot. You sort of write as you go with rehearsals.
And it's been produced, obviously.
There's more rehearsal aspect, I would say, to theatre
Yeah.
With TV, you sort of write the script, get the guys and go for it with more of an approach. So maybe that's the main difference, I would say.
Yeah.
Between.
So this series that you hope eventually will come to, you obviously weren't commissioned to do it.
Yeah.
You weren't commissioned, or you were?
Oh no, sorry. I think you said, no. We've been commissioned to do the pilot episode, but the series is still awaiting the full commission now. So.
And was that London Live who commissioned you?
Yeah, London Live are who picked it up. So.
Wow, that's fantastic. When's it actually going out?
It's this Sunday, Easter Sunday at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's a really good slot for us, for a pilot show. It's a really good slot.
Brilliant. And you know, obviously you've seen it, or are you really happy with the final product?
Yeah, we had the premiere on Monday where we got all the cast and crew together to have a little view of it, and the reactions were really positive from everyone, and we've had some good write-ups already, and the Evening Standard gave us a really good review. So
fantastic.
At the moment, it's all positive at the moment. The reviews we've been getting are great, and I'd say I'm really happy with the product,
Yeah, we've watched the trailer, and I'm for one, really looking forward to it. I'm not particularly a football person, but it does look really funny, and I'll watch anything as long as it's funny.
Oh, thank you.
For that's from a non-football fan, so from an actual football fan, it'll probably make maybe more sense. But it does look... It looks like it's going to genuinely be really funny, which is obviously brilliant, and it's what you want. But so what channel is it on?
It's on London Live, which can be found on in this area it can be found on Virgin or Sky, or on Freeview as well. So Freeview it's channel 8, on Sky it's channel 117, and on Virgin it's channel 159. So it's got some good slots on the channel.
Excellent.
You're listening to Music for Grown Ups with me, Dave and Amy, and our guest tonight is Matt Connolly, talking about Grassroots, the new football-based series on London Live TV. If you've got any questions out there, you can email them in at studio@meridianfm.com. Matt, who's in the series? Who did you get to do it?
Well, the thing about the series is, with it being like a fake documentary, we didn't want to go out there and try and get some big comedy actors, have David Jason as the manager, because then it sort of breaks the believability of it.
Right.
As well as, we've got a comedian called Ed Axel, who's really big on the comedy circuit, and he's the manager, Harry Pickles, in the series. And a couple of other actors like Josh Osey and Clarissa Clayton, who've done a lot of film work as well. So there's a few names in there, but generally it's a lot of unknown actors.
Yeah, probably. I think those ones you just mentioned, although personally I'm thinking of the names and can't quite grasp it, but I'm thinking as soon as I actually see them, I think, oh yes, I know him, he was in such and such a thing.
Yeah, most definitely.
No, go on, Amy.
Sorry.
No.
So with your casting, what was your process?
It was a mixture of things, really. The main guy in it, Ed, was someone I saw at Edinburgh Comedy Festival, and we just sort of asked him if he was interested, and he was up for it. And with others it was an audition-based thing, and with some guys it was we'd seen them and stuff, and we wanted to see if they were suitable. So again, a real mixed bag of how we got people involved.
Yeah,
excellent.
It was a
real mix.
Did the actors, did they have to be fit and good at football? And when I say fit, I don't mean like to the ladies. I mean being able to run 100 yards.
No, well, they had to look like footballers. I know it's like, as a comedy, there's always that joke of that guy's too fat to play football, but we wanted the realism, so all the footballers had to look like you could conceivably believe them as footballers.
Yeah.
So they were all pretty fit lads in that respect. Yeah. So they're all in shape.
And was this how did the process of getting the actors, and was that something you had a say in, or was it purely down to the producer, the director, and the TV company?
No. All the actors that were in it, we dealt with directly. Me and Luke, who co-created it, we got everyone in off our own back, and there was no one that was vetoed or anything like that. It was a process that we undertook ourselves.
Fantastic.
Enjoyable or hard work?
Yeah, well, both. Yeah. Enjoyable was probably outweighs it. Just finding that acting, you go, yeah, they're great. It's great.
Yeah.
And as the writers, did you have much say in how the series was filmed?
We directed the series as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we've had a really huge creative footprint on the whole project.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So hopefully our vision just keeps being followed through.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Where was it filmed? Because I've obviously looked at the trailer, and you've obviously used a proper sort of little ground somewhere.
Yeah, it was Boreham Wood Football Club.
Oh.
Sort of in the 6th tier of English football, so that's quite low down.
Yeah.
But we just asked them if they wanted to let us film there, and they were up for it. So they get the Arsenal ladies playing Champions League football there, so it's quite a decent little stadium.
Yeah,
for the level they're at.
It does look quite a nice
wonderful.
place.
It's quite homely.
Yeah. I mean, how do you film something like that? I mean, for instance, you're obviously going to have to get a full stadium, aren't you? Or at least you're going to have to fill a section of it so it looks like it's a full stadium, aren't you? Fill one side, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do? Do you advertise for extras, or?
Well, that's a problem we're going to probably face when we get to that. I mean, for the pilot episode, it's set in the pre-season period, so we can get away with a bit of training and sort of interaction like that. But yeah, it would be a case of probably getting all our mates in to just fill it up as well, and whoever's up for it, extra work, whatever, really. Yeah, just anyone who wants to be a fan.
And you're pleased with the result?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great. Everyone should watch it. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It's fantastic. Isn't it?
I would say that, but yeah.
So it's filmed as sort of like a mockumentary sort of type thing. So what inspired you to sort of film it like that, like the sort of fly on the wall kind of style?
Well, it's probably a diet of just watching The Office every day when we were at university, me and Luke. Yeah, so got inspired by that programme. But also, I think with a mockumentary, you can get that realism factor that we're really striving for that you can't get with other comedies. And sometimes the dryness or the lack of humour in some characters might not come across in a situation that's contrived. So to have the mockumentary, it's almost like you've stumbled across the footage, and I think sometimes that's much funnier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it looks like it's going to be quite, like, some of the humour seems quite dry, which is fantastic. I mean, I'm a great fan of a bit of dry humour. So are you, how long have you actually been writing for? I mean, is this something you've been doing since you were at secondary school, or just the past sort of few years?
Well, with me and Luke, the guy who wrote with, we sort of started writing bits and bobs and sketches through our university education, which was about sort of in the last 5-6 years. So it's been since then that we've really taken it seriously and written things that have been published. So yeah, that's probably how long it's been
fantastic.
Now, this is the tough question. Does it pay well?
At the moment, it doesn't, no. But long term, I hope it does, yeah. I want a bit of dollar.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's what, apart from the love of doing it, it's your job, isn't it? It's going to be your job. I presume you're doing this and working, are you? Or,
yeah.
So, I mean, it's two lots of hard work you're doing.
No, it is. But, I mean, you're right in saying the love for it is the key driving factor, but you can't do that without earning some money along the way. So, yeah, of course that will pay a factor eventually, but at the moment it's purely for the love of making work, I suppose.
Yeah,
brilliant. I mean, I know you mentioned you'd done the work for the theatre, but have you written anything else?
Nothing that's got to the stage this has got to, no. This is like our big deal, really.
Oh,
this
fantastic.
is the one that's hopefully going to be the start of a long line of projects. So,
what do you see it going on to be? Do you see, I don't know, do you see a film coming out of it or anything?
I don't know whether a film, but I think the series has got longevity beyond this series.
Yeah.
I really do. I think with something like football, it's never ending in life anyway, so it can just go on and on in terms of series. Obviously, you don't want to keep going to the point where you're rehashing the old jokes, but it could definitely run for series and series. And outside of just the series as well, in terms of getting involved in other projects to do with football, and there's a whole range of ideas it can go into.
Fantastic. I mean, what would you are you looking to get into any other sort of types of writing, perhaps, outside of this? I don't know, drama or horror, or I don't know. Like, would you like to try your hand at?
What basically Amy's saying is there a part in it for her?
Stop it with you.
Well, there isn't. No, I'm joking. There's I think we'll write anything. Yeah, I think at the moment we're sort of young lads and we're just having a laugh and writing a comedy. But obviously, eventually, we might settle down and write something a bit more serious, or write to a certain genre type. It all just depends on what's interesting you at the time, what you're being influenced by, I guess.
Yeah, excellent.
Do you see? I mean, do you see as the presuming that all 6 are eventually made and it becomes something? Do you see a time when, I know you were saying that most of the actors were, borderline known or even unknown. Do you sort of see a time when you suddenly have to get the star in? Like Alex Ferguson will turn up and sign their star player
and because it's a documentary, mockumentary type of thing, you can do that. You can bring someone in without breaking the barrier, as long as there's a purpose to it. So ideally, eventually, when we make the other episodes, we do want to bring in sort of that glossy side of it, and having a celebrity come down to watch the football match because that's the team they support, or another manager coming down to scout a team. It can expand into that, and you can get known names into it through that without breaking the barrier of believability.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a serious side to it as well? Like a bit like a Footballer's Wives?
Well, I don't know if that's the comparison we would go for.
I mean, is there
in terms of storyline,
is there a love angle? Or,
Well, no, I wouldn't go so far as there being that side of it. I mean, in a cheesy way, I suppose there's a love for football from the manager to his club, but that's looking at it too cheesy.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of other storylines going on besides the football, of course, but the main arc is football. But it's not just comedy. Yeah, there's a drama aspect and a real people.
See, I'm thinking that if you're going to write something like, say, a football thing, you're immediately putting yourself in this kind of hard zone, because as soon as you say film the football match, like I said earlier on, you need the crowd, and then you need 22 players, a referee, 2 linesmen. You've got a lot of people going on there, haven't you?
Yeah, that is one of the problems with it, is that you do have to have a lot of people to keep the realism going. But luckily we had a great cast who were all up for it, and we managed to get 11 guys for the first lot that have been great. And just
did you actually film any football moments, like playing in for the first?
Not in terms of a match, but we did film them having a kick around and showed pre-season sort of what you'd see from watching Sky Sports News or something, them playing football. We did have that. They all got to kick a ball about with each other and had a little match amongst themselves, but we haven't yet encountered any problems with a big match.
Because to me as well, the reason that something like any sport, particularly football, is so good is because of the unexpected. Whereas what you've got to do is create the unexpected in a very planned and meticulous way to make it look unexpected. But of course, it's acting. That must be so difficult to do.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is. That's all I can say to that, really. It is. Just hopefully we've done it well.
Have you thought of how you're going to do this? You know, like for instance, if you're thinking some guy's got to score a spectacular goal, like say Wayne Rooney did the other day from the halfway line.
Yeah.
You've got to work something like that out, haven't you?
Well, we had
something so difficult.
Yeah, we had something similar in the pilot episode. There's meant to be a bad tackle that sort of sparks a little team fight. Fight's maybe too strong a word, but a little
handbags
argument. Yeah. So we had that in the episode. So we just had to be really careful about the angle at which you shoot it, and because again we've got this mockumentary aspect to it, we can sort of flirt around the edges of things, and the camera might not catch something properly, which is a real get out of jail free card for us, I suppose, in that respect. So
it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. So with your, getting all this with the cast and the crew on board, did you have a budget to pay them?
We had a budget, but a lot of the actors worked on sort of a travel-only sort of thing. I mean,
that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a real shoestring budget that we sort of got by on, and obviously when the series is made, we'll have, I wouldn't say a luxury budget, but hopefully a budget where we can, pay people, and that's the thing. It's like we didn't get paid for it, and
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously London Live is a new TV channel. Are they an independent channel, or are they owned by someone else?
They're owned by the guy, and I forget his name now, who owns the Independent and the Evening Standard as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's a big name Russian guy who's sort of investing a lot of money, and I think they won the rights to the channel over a couple of bigger. I think ITV wanted to put another channel out and stuff, so they've done quite well. And
fantastic.
They seem a really promising channel.
Well, they're obviously getting somewhere, aren't they? Do they do? Are they? I mean, I've watched little bits of it, but are they one of these channels that do they try and create their own stuff, or are they bringing in a lot of? They're just buying stuff in?
Yeah, I think that's their ethos, is that they want to push young London talent. That's really part of it. I think they've bought a lot of more established shows like 2012 and Peep Show, and have ran them alongside to sort of bed them in. But I think their long-term aim is to have series that stand on their own legs and people watch the channel for. I think it's really good for Londoners to have that sort of option and avenue available.
Sidetracking just slightly, but I thought while you're here, Matt, I was looking at the top 10 wages that are and this isn't just football.
Is this yearly?
Yes.
Right.
And this is per person.
Oh, no.
Okay, this isn't just football. This is the top 10. This is how much each team...
Is it just sports teams?
Any sports team you can think of, just the top 10. And at number 10, we've got Chelsea, and they're playing an average of £3.98 million per player per season, or per year.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
It's not bad, is it? And then it moves up. We've got the Chicago Bulls, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, the Brooklyn Nets, Barcelona, Real Madrid, the LA Dodgers. Then you've got the New York Yankees, and the top team. Any ideas?
I'm going to guess it's Manchester City.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Manchester City are paying an average of £5.337 million
stop it, for
per
goodness
person, per player. And that is the first team. The second team are on bread and milk, I think. 'Cause that's all they're going to get, aren't they? There won't be anything left.
Do you know, it really does make me cross, you know. It does, because you just think, I know football's good, great, whatever. You know, if you like football, that's great. But do they need that much money?
I don't know.
What
Well,
are you
I think
going to do with it?
where you filmed it, what's the name of the actual team that played there?
Boreham Wood.
It is called Boreham Wood.
Yeah, Boreham Wood.
And what are they? I guess they're semi-professional.
Yeah, they'd be semi-professional.
So they would get like what, I don't know, £50 a game, something like that, or perhaps not even that.
Maybe a couple of £100 a week.
Really?
Maybe
Really?
For a good player at that level.
Yeah.
But again, the youth team players especially wouldn't be getting paid and things. Yeah.
None of them fancied being in the shows.
The club did offer, but we just went with our own actors.
Yeah.
Really.
It's what football players couldn't act.
Yeah.
I mean, it awkward, wasn't it?
I think it was, we just trusted our actors, I suppose. But I mean, the avenue's still there for us to use their guys. They were great to us, Boreham Wood.
Yeah,
they were great to us.
Brilliant, isn't it? But while you're here as well, Matt, have you got any advice for wannabe writers? Stick at it, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
is the only thing you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, you've just got to keep plugging away and believing, I suppose, as sort of Hollywood as it sounds.
I mean, how many pre-scripts did you write before this one sort of fell into place and you thought, that's it, we've done it, we've cracked the nut?
A few that sort of maybe we didn't feel were ready. But this was actually the first one we really took to people saying, look, give us some investment, this thing could be big. The ones before we maybe didn't feel so confident about doing
Were
that.
they the same subjects and ideas?
Different subjects, like little comedy things we'd written between us again and stuff like that. But this is the first thing we actually felt we could take somewhere that we felt was polished. But I'd say to writers, you've just got to keep going. And if you believe in what you've written is good enough, there's always submissions for channels and things.
Yeah.
And just got to find the avenues. It's a case of looking and finding the ways in, I suppose. But it's a tough industry.
It is a tough industry, I would imagine. Probably like most of the arts nowadays. You know, once you've got your foot in the door, you can begin to climb the ladder, I guess.
Well, yeah, that's.
I mean, where would you see? Should we say in I don't know, 10 years' time, if you could press a red button in front of you, say that's exactly where I want to be when I press that red button. Where would it be?
Or making more stuff like this, just having a laugh, or making something that you can be incredibly proud of, whether it be film or TV or even theatre. You know, as long as you're enjoying life and you're making stuff you love, that's the dream, I suppose. Yeah. So that.
I mean, I guess the kind of Only Fools and Horses, 40 Towers, that kind of thing. They're kind of like, I don't know, one every 10 years, aren't they? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, something that hits that many people, I suppose, is quite rare. But you can get a good cult following. You know, there's so many comedies with great cult followings that you can just stumble across 10 years after they've come out. So I think this is one of those sort of shows. But hopefully it's bigger than that. But I think it's going to be a real.
So the idea of this is you've made the pilot. Hopefully you'll then go and make the other 5.
Yeah.
And then what? That perhaps might even come out on DVD.
Yeah. Ideally, and just garner its own fan base and become its own living, breathing thing, I suppose. Yeah.
So apart from obviously your own work, what do you think is what comedy out there are you enjoying at the moment?
I really like the Stuart Lee comedy vehicle, but that's not really anywhere near the same type of show as what we've made.
It's completely bypassed me. I don't know that.
It's just like half an hour of stand-up, really. That's the. But,
do you know, Amy? Did you know?
No, I don't.
I'll pick something obscure. I don't know. I'm always watching little comedies here and there, but I tend to go back and watch stuff. So I just still watch the Peep Show every day, really. Like,
are you critical when you watch something on TV?
I think I used to be far more critical before I had something of my own, and now I
you realise how hard it is.
Yeah, and then
no, it's my baby.
And now I get a bit annoyed when I see people overly criticise other products, really, because I realise the restraints put on people and things like that. But yeah, I can still be critical. I think you can.
Well, all I say is good luck, Matt, and
thank you.
We will be. What time is it on Sunday?
9 o'clock.
Sunday evening.
It's Sunday, yeah. So.
On London Live.
Yeah.
Matt, well, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
You know, best wishes to Luke as well. Couldn't quite make it tonight.
No, which was a real shame, but yeah, thank you for that.
But we really hope it goes well, and obviously we hope the other 5 come out as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No,
and when the other 5 come out, you'll have to come back and see us and just show us that big fat cheque you've got.
Yeah.
I wish.
Lovely. Many thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Many thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Many thanks for coming.
Thank you.